Welcome to the Business Spotlight Series. My name is Mark McNulty, president of Action Coach Bluegrass. Today, I have Josh Peters, who's the owner, CEO, and creative director of Open Grain Woodwork, as my guest. Today, we're going to be talking with Josh about his business, his journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a little peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business. Now, if this is your first time on our channel, be sure to like and subscribe so that you get notification when new interviews drop. So Josh, welcome and thank you so much for being here today.
Awesome, Mark. Well, thanks for having me. I'm excited about the opportunity.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about Open Grain Woodwork.
Well, Open Grain Woodwork we've been in business since 2007, and we specialize in custom manufacturing is probably the best way to put it. I started the business wanting to be a furniture maker, and then we just had opportunities to kind of grow in other areas and do more custom items for both commercial and residential sectors.
Okay, so tell me about your team. How big's your team?
We got a team of 10. We've got a customer service and office manager, director of operations, a product engineer, production manager, team of craftsmen, and also finishers, which do like the final sanding, clear coats, and things like that. And we also too, back up a second, we got a CNC operator that kind of handles all of our technical computerized machinery.
Okay. So what got you into this line of work and, to start a business like this?
That's an interesting question. I'm going to say, when I graduated high school, I was going to college and my dad is a contractor. So I started working with him, remodeling homes. And then I just really liked it. And I really gravitated towards the artistic, opportunities with woodworking. I still had to do tile and electric and drywall and framing. But my favorite projects were when we got into architectural woodwork, columns, mantelpieces, built-in bookcases, crown moldings, and things like that. And then as I developed my skills, I started doing a little bit more high-end built-in bookcases for some very high-end clients. And then eventually, man, it's all I wanted to do was just woodwork. And I was already starting to build like furniture on my free time. And I just liked the challenge and the artistic, creativity behind building, custom furniture. So, I decided to start my own business as a furniture maker. And then that's kind of where it all started. And then it just kind of developed from there.
Okay, awesome. So in 17 years later, here you are. That's great.
Yeah, that's right. Now I don't get to build much furniture anymore, unless it's for myself.
Yeah. So speaking of that, so kind of what are your roles in the company now? CEO, creative director. So
Yes,
how
sir.
do you spend your time? What do you see as your big role in the company?
Yeah. So, my main role is creative director, handling sales and leads. My favorite part of the job is communicating to my clients or potential clients what the company's capable of, educating them on materials, the process that we go through, and things like that. Make promises, and then, once awarded, communicating those promises to my team, our engineers and our craftsmen, and, the overall goal for the client's product. So it's really cool. We do a lot of different things. So I get to learn and work with a lot of new materials and new people. And so that's my basic role. That's the biggest part of my role.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have a lot of competition in your space?
And it doesn't feel like it. I mean, there is competition throughout the country, as the company's grown. We specialize in like the really hard stuff, the more artistic elements in hospitality spaces. It is probably 75% of our work. So we do a lot of like casinos, hotels, restaurants, and things like that. And we do like like dimensional signage, a lot of like logos, artistic walls, wall coverings, reception desks, conference tables, and then like, any custom pieces. There's a lot of companies out there that do casework, which is, simple cabinetry, commercial grade cabinetry. And, they're just not they're not a fit for the more artistic, high end elements that we provide. So, so it's like for locally, there's not a lot of companies that do what we do. Nationally, of course, yeah, there's a lot of companies that, can compete with us, but honestly, I feel like we're not competing. We work together. I work with a lot of companies that are similar to mine, to delegate, specialties and other, portions of projects. So it just depends. I mean, we got a really good network of, of competitors, I guess. Good way to say it.
So who are your best clients? You mentioned casinos, hospitality, kind of what are your niches that you operate in?
So yeah, our best clients is we work real closely with a lot of contractors that are doing either new builds or pretty intensive remodels for hotels, casinos, and things like that. So business to business is one of my favorites. And we just, we give them another tool in their bag, for providing a unique space, and the demand of like some of the architects, artistic elements that they want to add into their space. So right now we got some really cool projects going on. We just wrapped up a really nice casino where we did like some like artistic walls called baffle walls. So they're like just kind of like divider walls that have like an artistic flow to them. A lot of custom furniture. We did some really high end like communal tables for like their dining area and things like that. So, and then right now we're getting ready to hopefully have an opportunity to renovate a historic steamboat with a contractor. So that's an exciting project. And yeah, we do a lot of marketing campaigns with companies. We do work with a lot of bourbon companies that want to do some type of like bottle glorifier or high-end retail displays and things like that. So
okay.
So
all right, awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of marketing, you're doing a lot of B2B work. So how,
Yes, sir.
what kind of marketing do you do? Where do you get your clients? Obviously, I'm sure there's some, repeat referral business, but
Yes, sir. Yes.
kind of what's your marketing plan look
Yeah,
like?
so I work with a company called High 10 Digital. So we just basically do a lot of digital marketing, just kind of refining the website over the years and creating a lot of organic SEO. We dabbled with like pay-per-click stuff, and I felt like in my business, the pay-per-click, all it does is just bring traffic. It brought a lot of, traffic, but nothing turned into leads. The only thing that really turned into leads for us was the organic traffic. So somebody who's like specifically looking for something for guys like us. So we've seen a lot of success just kind of focusing on the content on the site, keywords, developing pages that, target different areas, kind of paying attention to the analytics and where we're getting a lot of like organic traffic as far as like Virginia. We got a lot of traffic, so we focused on that space first, and then Chicago, and then New York, and then so we're kind of just keep adding and content constantly just to kind of hit those keywords and make sure that we come up in an organic manner.
Right. Okay.
So, and it's been great. It's been very successful.
Excellent. So, what are some, so let's talk about the business. So, you had what I call an entrepreneurial seizure. You decided to take your craft and turn it into a business.
Yep.
So what was that like starting the business?
Oh, I think it's scary and exciting all at the same time. Starting a business, I got $500 in my pocket to open up a bank account, and then cross your fingers and go. But I've had it's been humbling and scary. Sometimes you feel like you've hit it and you're on the verge of success, and then other days, you're on verge of, disaster. So,
Yeah,
no, but
well, welcome to the life of a business owner, right?
yeah, it's great though. I mean, it is exciting. It's a lot of fun. I love being, focusing on leadership with my team, and just kind of bringing everybody together, and paying attention to everybody's skill sets and needs, and nurturing all that, and growing the team, and growing the company, and growing our product, and so
Okay. So as you look back, kind of on your journey, what are some memorable roadblocks or hurdles that you had to overcome that
yeah,
might be some lessons for, entrepreneurs that are going to be dealing with that
yeah.
next week?
Absolutely. I think the first one that comes to mind was, I tried to maintain a solo entrepreneurship. I wanted to be a furniture maker. I wanted to do it all myself.
Mhm.
And, I tried doing it all by myself for a really long time. Just, I wanted to keep it small, wanted to keep it, I don't know, just maintain control. And, I was just scared to, delegate and grow the business and hire employees.
Mhm.
Um, and then, as the business grew, I started realizing that, I couldn't quite do it on my own. So I tried to hire some administrative help, and then maintain, sole craftsmanship of our
Mhm.
products. And then that really wasn't a good fit, because I really started seeing, I got to do what I love doing, which is creating, design, building, custom furniture or custom products for clients. But I didn't feel like the business was being ran. I kind of, I separated myself from the front of the house. And finally, I just knew that no one can run my business better than I can. So I started making that leap and hiring craftsmen, and developing relationships and bringing other people into the company. And man, once I made that decision to like let go and start delegating and trusting others with the product, it was a huge growth in entrepreneurship and the business. So I'd say that's my first lesson, was just taking that leap of faith, and that I can be a leader, and bring in other people to depend on.
So tell me about as you bring in those people, how did you have to change as a manager and a leader to be able to do that?
Yeah, I really had to start letting go. At first, I still wanted to do everything myself as far as building, especially like some complex, you know, joinery or complex fabrications. And I still wanted, I had to start letting go. I had to start trusting people with those things. I had to start, being present and showing them how to do it, instead of like, we got to get this done. I can do it faster if I just do it myself. Versus, okay, I need to step back. I need to train this person to where we need them, over time, and,
Mhm.
walking it through, and then training them through that process. And then the next time that process or something similar comes along, oh, okay, I got to trust them. I've already taught them. I know they can do it. Now they may not do it exactly the way I did, or it may not be perfect, but, and I'm kind of a perfectionist, especially when it comes to woodworking.
Right.
But and yeah, so that was probably one of the hardest things, was just letting go and trusting them to do it their way, and and seeing and having faith.
Okay. So what are you doing now to kind of develop your team, develop some leadership on your team?
Yeah.
Um,
I'm going to say, implementing new roles. We're always implementing new positions as the team grows. I used to kind of run the admin front end, on my own. And then, so eventually we got so busy, I hired an office manager slash customer service representative. That took a lot off my plate. Let me focus on other things. And then, the next big thing was hiring a production engineer, so I wouldn't have to do all the drawings and design work myself. And that sped up, production, having that space. And then, yeah, and then as far as day to day, I've definitely spent a lot of time with my team, giving them encouragement, giving them direction. Also, too, looking for new ways to give them new responsibilities and growth and ownership on with new things around the shop and production. We do one-on-ones regularly where I kind of visit with my team and we kind of talk about how things are going, setting benchmarks to like for future growth. What kind of goals do they have short term? What kind of goals do they have long term? Which ones are we going to prioritize? How do we get to those goals? And things like that. So I definitely try to nurture and grow the team, and and make sure everybody knows there's lots of room for improvement and advancement inside the company as the company grows.
So speaking as the company grows, kind of where do you see the business 3 to 5 years from now? Do you have growth plans that you can share?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've got some good personal goals with the business, both financially and physically. I definitely want to keep adding to my team. We've got a great team, and I think right now my main focus is to keep building their skill set, to improve our product and improve our turnaround on product. I feel like the team is at a really good size for now. And then once I feel like everybody's kind of developed, then I look forward to implementing and bringing in younger entry level skilled craftsmen, and then have them start training those employees. So yeah, I mean, in 3 to 5 years, I hope to have a little bit bigger team and definitely a little bit bigger space, but also be able to turn over more product with what we have. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically increase the revenue per employee.
Right.
So
Awesome. So how would you describe in a few words your current leadership style? You kind of describe how it's evolved over the years, but so how would you describe your leadership style today?
how would I describe my leadership style today? Aside from what I've already touched on, that's without being sounding redundant. I just try to be present. I try to make sure that everybody knows that I'm there for them, and that my number one goal is for them to be successful in the business and what they're doing. That my door is always open unless I'm in an interview. And yeah, and and listen to them, listen to what they want, listen to what they need, listen to their goals and how they feel like they can be an asset to the company, and give them encouragement, and show them that you are on their side.
Okay. So be present and listen were the two key things I heard from that.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
awesome.
and make sure you're giving them the tools that they need to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Show them, if they need a cup of coffee, I'll run out and get them a fucking cup of coffee. But just make sure they have everything that they need to be successful. All the tools.
Okay, great. So covered a lot of ground here today for those of you watching. I recommend watching this a couple times, especially on Josh's evolution from being the craftsman to being the CEO leader, because a lot of us start businesses because it's something we have a passion for and that we're good at. And it doesn't matter. It's hard to grow a business if it just relies on only you being the best and nobody else being good enough. And, Josh has talked about how he evolved over time and got his team involved and delegated. So, that's something that, is a theme for every business owner out there. So I encourage you to watch this a couple times. So Josh, to wrap us up, I've got kind of a last 4 or 5 questions here, just kind of quick, short questions.
Yeah.
So first is, what's your number one key to success?
Whoa. Don't be the smartest guy in the room. Surround yourself with good mentors, and good advice. I've got a lot of great mentors that I've met over the years that, I can call on anytime. We have lunch regularly. We share ideas, we share books and knowledge. And yeah, I think that's been one of the best things biggest key to success.
Okay. So what's a piece of advice you would give to other business owners or aspiring business owners?
Oh, shit. I don't do it, like, uh, that's a tough question. Be patient, perseverance. You're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days, but like just go to work every day, work hard. Make sure, not only you're trying to build your team, but you're trying to build yourself. So you got to focus on personal growth as well.
Okay, awesome. So what's one book you're reading or listening to now or recently that you would recommend to other entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I just finished 2 Second Lean from Paul Acker. And it's a really good book. This guy, he owns Fast Cap. And he's been overseas and studied, how like the Toyota plant works and how they trim the fat and just, lean processes of manufacturing. Really smart guy. And that's been a big help. And then I just getting ready to start this one called EOS, Employee Operating Systems. So this was a recommendation from a mentor. So I'm getting ready to start this one right now. But yeah, I try to, honestly, I only like reading business books. It's, I don't, but yeah, so.
Okay, awesome. Couple good books. Thank you. So if you had to choose only one area of your business that you could immediately improve, as in like tomorrow, what would it be?
Who? That's a tough question. One thing to improve immediately tomorrow. Huh. Shit, how many people answer that question like that?
So that's one that people got to think about. So if I had a magic wand and I could wave it over one, I don't.
Yeah.
Just wave it over one part of your business. Where would you want me to wave my magic wand?
I'm gonna say the one thing I'm probably going to focus on the most right now is production turnaround. I'd like to get more product out, like what I touched point on earlier. Increase the revenue per employee, make them do with what we have, and that's probably where I would want to see my number one goal. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So before I get to my very last question, so obviously your website, how can other people find out more about you other than your website? Are you on Instagram? Are you, what are the different ways they can learn about, Open Grain Woodwork?
Yeah. Well, of course, opengrain.com is our website. We are on Instagram and Facebook as Open Grain Woodwork. I do have a page on LinkedIn, Josh Peters, owner of Open Grain Woodwork. And there's a lot of, that's a really good, those are about the points. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, your website's great. Got a lot of
Thank
pictures
you,
of what you've done, and really, it's a really beautiful work. So
thank you very much.
I highly recommend people to check out just what he's talking about when he's talking about artistic design. It's just some fabulous stuff. It's not,
thank you very much.
It's not just cabinets and stuff. It's just a lot of the architectural work is really gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Mark.
So all right, my last question for today is, what inspires you the most right now?
I'm going to say I'm the most inspired by my team and leading my team. I mean, it's probably it's my favorite thing to do. So, and they challenge me to be better. And, I like to grow as a person, as a leader, as a business owner. And I like seeing them grow. So I'm going to say my team is my most inspiring thing.
Awesome. And that's something that I hear a lot. So from business owners, our teams they're what make or break us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So awesome. So this has been Josh Peters, owner, CEO, creative director of Open Grain Woodwork, and he has shared a ton with us in this short 20 minutes. Again, I highly recommend you watch this a couple times, especially picking up the just the different ways that he's come through from being just the craftsman, best at everything, to leading a team of craftspeople and worker and team members that service clients well and building the customer service strengths. So thank you again, Josh, so much for being with us today and sharing your time. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Mark. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed the opportunity.
Great. All right, so everybody, this has been the Business Spotlight series. I'm Coach Mark, and we appreciate you being here. Be sure to bookmark, like, and subscribe so you don't miss any future interviews. And we will see you all on the next interview. Thanks. Bye.